Yo, what is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to Let's Talk Hunter, where we break down the Hunter subclasses, what's good, what's not, and how I use them. Today we'll be going over the initial class, the Arcstrider. So, without further ado, let's talk. Alright guys, let's start off with this super. Now, Arcstrider probably has one of the coolest looking supers there is in the game, in my opinion. But it is called Arcstaff. You pull out a Death Maul type lightsaber and you destroy everyone in your face. It's actually a lot of fun to use. The only problem I see with it is in PvP, where you're kind of like a sitting duck almost. If you don't pop it at the right time or don't use it at the right time, you can get rather boned. Now, jumping into the very first skill tree, we have the Way of the Wind, disorienting blow. Now, when you hit your enemies with your melee, it and targets around it become disoriented. It's kind of like the Night Stalker's smoke grenade. It's actually really nice for PvE when you're in the close range combat. It gives you a second to react, whichever the case may be. Up next, focus breathing. Sprinting recharges your dodge and increases your sprint speed. Now, this is a quality of life skill. It's nice, it comes in handy, but it's not game breaking. Combat meditation. When you critically wounded, melee and grenades recharge drastically faster. It's nice. Now, if you're going to pick this tree, this is probably the coolest thing about the tree. This is the one thing you'll notice the most. Arc grenades for Arcstrider aren't as good as they are for Titan, but they do their job well. Final skill in the tree, lightning reflexes. You are harder to kill when dodging. Now, this makes your super, when you pop your super, a little more effective in this tree. Doesn't quite do as well as the tree above us, the Way of the Warrior. We'll get into that in a second. But basically, it allows you to survive a little bit more. And pair with a certain exotic named Radiant Flux, which increases your super time as you attack multiple times. It's nice. This tree isn't a bad tree by any means. Alright guys, on to the Way of the Warrior. My preferred tree of the actual subclass. Jumping right into it, combat flow, melee kills recharge your dodge ability. Keep going. Now, combination blow, kill an enemy with melee ability to trigger health regeneration, increase your melee damage temporarily. Super nice, I love it. Deadly reach, dodging increases your melee rage, allowing you to lunge further to strike enemies. Deadly reach is kind of like Symptoceps for the Titans, really nice. I like this one a lot. And the final, lethal current. After dodging, your Arcstaff hits, creates damage to lightning aftershock. This is kind of like another one of the Titan slam down with the Striker Titan. This is pretty cool. I like that. I like that over the actual reflexes from the previous tree. But what makes this tree good, when in combination with Gambler's Dodge, your dodge performs, or when you perform a dodge, your melee is instantly recharged when near enemies. Now, this is really good because you can basically spam melee dodge, and you're doing a nice amount of damage. Plus, when you have combination as well, it gives you health regeneration for every time you kill an enemy with your melee. Now, this is probably the most risk-reward playstyle the Arcstrider has, for the simple reason that you're up close a lot of the time. So your gear is going to be based upon what you are lacking. Considering you're going to be up close, you probably want a little more resilience or recovery. It's on your own personal playstyle. But this is the one I use a lot. Now, going on to the grenades. Now, the grenades I have a hard time with because they're all okay grenades. I can find a good purpose for skip grenade, which you throw in a grenade and it splits in multiple projectiles, almost like the heat seeker from Gunslinger. Flux grenades, I've only used them a couple times. I didn't like them, didn't go back to them. But arc bolt grenade is nice. You throw it down, it scans the area, and whoever's in the general vicinity of the grenade typically gets killed. Not always, but it is really a nice grenade. Now, for Arcstrider's dodge ability, you have to go Gambler's Dodge, for the simple reason that your melee ability is rather damaging and it's nice. And both trees have something to go along with your melee. So depending on which tree you are, you're either going to use your disorienting bow if you're going wind. So your targets around you are rendered almost useless, so you can kill them all and be done with them. Or you can rely on actually doing damage and regenerating your health. It's all on you. Alright guys, on to the gear. Now, this is basically use what you like or use to fit your playstyle, how you play. But I go 5 mobility, 4 resilience, and 5 recovery. I don't care how you get it, but this is what I prefer. Now, the one thing you have to have, in my opinion, is the Radiant Flux. The Radiant Flux is an amazing exotic chest piece for the Arcstrider for locking down bosses, keeping your arc staff actually going. The more you attack, increases the damage output and duration. It is a must-have exotic. Now, you can also do Lucky Raspberry, which is a nice exotic for the chest piece. Not quite as good as Radiant Flux, but if you do want to make a build surrounding your arc grenades, this is a chest piece you would use. Now, I'm going with Roll Complex or Helm. I'm going with the FWC Gauntlets. Radiant Flux, of course. Exodus Down Strides, which I use for all my subclasses. I like it. I also have Health Recovery. And the Cloak, which is the Jensen Knight Cloak from IO. Just an amazing looking cloak to begin with. I love the way it looks, so that's why I use it. Now, as far as weapons, use what you like. I actually recommend the Pallades Corrector from the FWC if you haven't got it yet. It's actually a rather nice scout rifle. I'm not a big fan of scout rifles, but I enjoy this one for the simple reason that it fires a little faster than what you're normally used to. Your Nameless Midnight fires at 180. This fires at 200, which is it's nice. It has a little more recoil than the actual Midnight does, but it also has Rampage. So if you're good at killing enemies with precision shots, which you don't need precision shots, but if you're killing enemies fast enough, you can get a nice 3-stack of Rampage and get a couple easy kills rather nicely. Exotic or your power weapon, use what you want. I like Curtain Call. I switch between that and Merciless. I've been using Darcy to give it a try. I just feel snipers in this game aren't quite as good as they used to be. And as far as PvP, guys, nothing changes. Just remember, Knucklehead Radar is a nice choice. And you also have Foe Tracer that marks your targets, and marked targets with low health take more damage. It's actually rather nice for PvP, but I prefer having my radar up when I'm scoping in, just because might is everywhere, so why not? Alright, ladies and gents, on to my final thoughts on what I think about the Arcstrider. Now, the Arcstrider himself is probably the funnest class I've played in Destiny 2. Now, I do have a Strider Titan, which is just as much fun, but the Hunter Arcstrider is, I don't know, it's fucking dope. I love being able to go in and destroy trash mobs with the combo roll, dodge, or roll, punch. I completely screwed that up. But at the end of the day, you're relying on being up close. And a lot of the end game content, you have to be very careful because nightfalls, raids, you can't just go out willy-nilly and die. So a good Arcstrider will time his combos for trash. Kill your trash and then focus on the elites and the bigger enemies, like ogres and wizards and all that good stuff. So does this limit the build? The Arcstrider, the super's really good on strike bosses and other bosses, but yet again, on endgame content, you can't typically run up with your arc staff and just completely destroy them because their stomps or their melee abilities practically one-shot you. So this is where the Arcstrider falls. The Arcstrider falls in a kind of like kill trash mobs and then rely on your weapons to do all the boss damage. But I don't know, it just feels like, you know, with the right trigger on the PS4 or on the PS4 controller, you do like a short, medium range attack, which is nice, but it's still too close. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think the Arcstrider needs a little working to where it gives you a little more medium to long range to where you can use it more effectively on end game, like raid and nightfall content? Or do you feel that Arcstrider's in a good place? Because, I mean, I enjoy them, but the biggest reason why I don't use them is for the simple reason that I can't risk it. I don't feel like running close range other than for trash. So, I mean, that's my final thoughts. Arcstrider is probably the funnest classes in the game. If you haven't tried him, give him a try. He is a blast to use. You'll really enjoy the melee combo that he has with melee dodge, and it makes you feel fucking powerful. It makes you feel like you're just punching shit and everything's dying. It's like you're watching an episode of One Punch Man. But leave your comments down below, guys. All that good stuff. Let me know what you think. If you agree with me or you disagree with me. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that like button if you found this video good. If you like it. Also, leave your constructive criticism down there as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. And for the next episode, we will be breaking down all of them together, like the finer points. And that will be the end of the actual series. And then we'll go into Titan. So, guys, peace out. Thanks for watching.